Might be useful. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening whenever you are watching this. My name is Josh, and welcome to this channel. On here, we talk about news, politics, and current events, and boy, do we have some fun ones today. As you might have saw in the stream name today, we're going to be taking a look at some clips here from a Mr. Kanye West showing up on Alex Jones's InfoWars, the notorious InfoWars. Afterwards, we're going to look briefly at New York City's new solution to homelessness, which is basically force hospitalize people and not solve the problem of homelessness. So that's always great. And then we're going to kind of take a look at the rail strike stuff. I want to encourage anybody who might be watching who might want to have a conversation to email the email address you see above with any topic you'd like to talk about, especially if you are interested at all in talking about our broken healthcare system. Because I think, although the Kanye story is a bit more of a culture story, I think it's also important to recognize the kind of mental health. Oh, that's why that's like that. Okay, can I move this out? I'll have to fix that later. The mental health crisis that Kanye is currently in, and also kind of what's underpinning the 3 or so topics that we're going to talk about today. Just kind of healthcare in America and how we don't really treat it with the respect and care that it really needs. So, actually, it'll be fine. So, let's start. Kanye West is a is even I don't even remember the last Kanye album that came out. Kanye West is one of the most prolific rappers of the early 2000s all the way up to modern, the modern era. Still, genius music producer, a genius wordsmith. I guess that's starting to fall away a bit, but overall, Kanye is somebody who's always been around through a lot of my life. He's been a big part of my music taste over the years, so it's been really disappointing, to say the least, to watch this spiral. But we talked about it last time, and there's been some new and some fun content. So it would be negligent of me as a burgeoning content creator to not at the very least dabble in a bit of this. But yeah, so Kanye, after his appearance on Tim Pool, I believe that actual appearance took place on Monday, although I could be wrong. He's kind of been making the rounds on a lot of the right-wing talk shows, talk shows as it were, with his new posse of Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos, they've been making the rounds, kind of trying to spread whatever this new conservative. I say new. I personally don't really think any of this stuff is new. You'll kind of see with Jones's reactions. A lot of this stuff. What I think makes Kanye dangerous, and what I think makes putting him out there dangerous, and kind of why so far in these interviews, we kind of saw it with both Milo and Nick in the Tim Pool interview, that like they were not super thrilled to be there, and they were not super thrilled to be connected with somebody who's just not being as sophisticated with their arguments as they are. Usually Nick Fuentes and guys like Milo, they'll play little word games, and they'll kind of lead people with like very leading questions and kind of massage you into some of their like, you know, anti-Semitic and quite frankly anti-democratic worldviews. But luckily they have somebody as charismatic, somebody as notable, which is nice for their grift but bad for their movement, as Kanye West is, because there's letting the mask slip, and then there's never owning a mask to start with. But anyway, let's take a look. I think I've seen I think the big clip, but Right Wing Watch has luckily provided a few little clips, so I kind of want to just see. I considered watching the whole thing. It's like 3 hours. We're not doing that. We do not have the time for that. But yeah, so let's dive in, shall we? Fucking deep end first. There's no audio. That would probably help. Let's see.
But I mean, just because you're in love with the design, you're a designer. Can we just? I don't think Hitler was a good guy. I get the Hugo Boss uniforms, amazing. But I mean, just because you're in love with the design, you're a designer. Can we just kind of say like you like the?
Oh yeah, that was yeah. I think I've heard of this before. Like yeah, I guess Hugo Boss did the like the like SS or like Hitler Youth outfits. So that's cringe. That's a black stain.
But that's about it.
There's a lot of things that
I've also seen the pictures. Oh no.
About Hitler. A lot of things.
Oh wow. Okay.
I get the.
Oh wow. That was kind of worse than even I thought it could be. Oh wow. That he just kind of set it out there. Also, what is going on? The video audio up a bit. It is quiet in my hair. You
like the uniforms, but that's about it.
That looks like it's a lot higher.
There's a lot of things that I
love
about Hitler.
Dude, why did he say that like he had like somebody's really good fucking meal at the like he went over to somebody's house and they were like, wow dude, this was a fucking amazing dish you just hit me with. Oh no.
But that's about it.
I love Alex Jones. So this is also an aspect you have to remember. Alex Jones is on the fucking needle right now. Alex Jones is on as thin of ice as you can get. After the lawsuits, after losing all this money, Alex Jones does not need just bold face, no plausible deniability, Nazi apologia on his show. This is the last thing Alex Jones needs. That's why he's doing like the fuck. Please say something normal. And then I wish they kind of stuck on Alex. I would love to see his reaction to some of the.
A lot of things that I.
No, like zoom in. You can kind of see him. He goes really wide and then like he veers off to the side like you can tell he goes like this and he's like, he just said that. He just said I love Hitler. Oh, that's not good. Oh, Alex, you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Oh, okay.
CNN says white people are evil Nazis, so I mean, I disagree with both statements, but I get the.
I would
I don't like
love
the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness!
Why is he wearing like a? What's up with the? I know he's been doing the like. He'll wear that out in public, but okay.
Because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
What?
Oh man, well, I have to disagree with that. Well, CNN says white people are evil Nazis.
Even Alex Jones has to disagree. Oh my God, Kanye. Oh my God. What?
I mean, I disagree with both statements, but I get the pros and cons.
I don't.
Oh my god, should we watch this? This is this is so out there. Oh no. Oh no, you can't. No. This is so out there.
The most Nazi-like activities I've seen.
Oh
and
no.
Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
But they did good.
Dude, how do you say? I love how he says that. I love that Alex Jones has to say, like, Nazis are bad because they shook people down, aka shook them down to the fucking camps. But like, even he has to be like, hey, you know, I'll say it under my breath. Look, I don't look, I don't really like the Nazis. It's just, you know, they did a lot of bad things. Like, he even has to say under his breath that he doesn't like the Nazis. Oh no. Oh no.
Nazi-like activities I've seen.
Oh
and
no.
Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
But they did
Oh,
good
really?
things too. We're gonna stop dissing the Nazis. All
No,
the time.
no,
Okay.
no,
The most
no.
Nazi-like activities I've seen.
No. Okay, let me be clear. Let me be clear to everybody. There is nothing more fundamentally American than dissing the Nazis. If you love America, if you are a true red, white, and blue patriotic American, you diss Nazis. That's how we do this. I do not none of this. Do we punch Nazis? No. Does BJ Blazkowicz decide if he needs it? No. He goes right in. Oh my god, no. What the fuck is going on? I don't know if these are better or worse with context. With like audio. What is happening? I love that there's fucking, oh man, Yahoo Milk. Get your PR team in order. Oh no.
It was bad. It was bad.
What's happening? No, what's happening?
Okay.
Oh my
I had
god.
no idea your voice is gonna sound like that, Netanyahu.
What is happening? What is happening? I'm so this is only vaguely out of context, but I'm so confused. There's a deep oh my god, this is okay, so we're doing the Netanyahu thing, which is fine. Netanyahu's a fascist. I okay. I don't know why there was a fucking safety net. Oh no. Okay. It's 46. Can we handle 46 seconds of this mania?
You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Oh no. Well, why do you have to say well? What is well? How do you how do you hear that statement and you're like, well, look, I'm not, look here, buddy, look here, I'm a lot of things. Maybe one of those is a Nazi, maybe one of those is Hitler, or, you know, as Blitler, as I've heard, but oh no.
I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me.
Okay. First of all, why are we showing American History X? Why are we showing this? First of all, who the fuck got the rights to play this in studio? Alex Jones is playing with fucking fire. You better hope I don't know who the fuck the director is, who the studio is, but you better damn sure believe that they are not gonna like their movie being played over Kanye West propagating Nazi hate speech. Oh no.
You can love.
Oh, this is such a tense scene too. I haven't seen this since like high school.
Us, and you can love.
No.
And you can love what
God.
What we're pushing with the pornography.
Pushing with the
this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician.
What?
You can't say out.
Wait. What? Hitler what? Invented what? In September of 33 on the direction of who invented yeah it's 1932. Oh my God, no. No, we're not. I'm not even going to look up the microphone. I'm not looking up the microphone one.
That this person ever did anything good. And
Oh,
I'm
no.
done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table.
Right.
Especially Hitler. You're not Hitler. You're.
My man said well, it certainly wasn't his art. That's for fucking sure. I guess, you know, I'll give him this. I'll give him this. This is what I'll give Hitler. This is what I'll give Hitler. I will give him this one positive thing that he's brought to the world. All right, here it is. Hitler did us, the human race, a favor in understanding and being able to quickly identify fascist and evil groups on our planet very easily. As if it sounds like Hitler, you know it's bad. You don't even have to think twice about it. It's just right there. Hitler, bad. Boom, we're done. We have now a new. We've since then have had an adjective to put for shit that's not okay, for pretty much bad shit, and fascist. So there you go. Why, some of us, we don't even have to explain fascism. We just go Hitler and the Nazis, and people go, oh, I understand that. That's bad. Okay, cool. Got it. Understandable. So thank you, Hitler, for making easy to identify evil. Thank you. That is wonderful job being a piece of shit human being. Also, your art sucked. Oh no. Who's this person now? Oh no. There's more people. Okay.
I see.
Oh dear.
You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be.
Oh no, this is the same clip. Okay.
I see good things about Hitler also.
Oh no. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kanye got the hint that the term mask off was not literal. You can wear a mask and be mask off. That's, oh no. Okay. Wow, that was a lot. There is a deep part of me that wants to watch the whole thing. Let me see how long it is. I saw it. It was pretty long. That's what she said. Let's see. Wait, Counterpoints covered this? Ooh, I am super curious. Oh no, that's right. Counterpoints is the other show. Did Breaking Points cover this? I'm interested. Okay. I'm interested. I want to know. Or did Crystal and Saga not cover this? No. I want to hear the left-right perspective on this. No. What the hell is this? Liver King is a fraud. Oh my god. Don't do that. Let's see. Milo trick. No. Wait, huh? Huh? Oh. I don't. Okay, so the headline for this is how Milo tricked Trump into Nick Fuentes' dinner. Do we want to do we want to know? I feel like that's I'm sorry, you can't convince me that somehow Trump got tricked into having Nick Fuentes, somebody who's been a avid supporter of Trump this entire time. He just somehow tricked him into bringing him onto the show. Okay, let's see. That's not how you spell things. I'm very okay. Kanye. Okay, let's see how. I'm seeing really long videos. Oh no. No. Just give me no. What is happening? I know I saw. Okay, 1 second. It shows Infowars, maybe. Infowars. The war on information. Okay. I know I saw somebody uploaded it. It was something. I'm assuming we must have got. I think we got the. I think we got the what's it called? I think we got the general just, you know what, we're gonna watch this because I want to know how they got to that conclusion. But let me just say, before we continue on a little bit more of this Kanye topic, so this is not good. Not just obviously from like a societal perspective, I suppose. This is not good having one of the most prominent artists in your country espousing pro Nazi rhetoric. That is not good. Here's kind of the silver lining to it, which you might be thinking what possible silver lining could there be? And I'll tell you what it is. The possible silver lining to this is mainly that Kanye West is very quickly becoming a albatross around the right wing's neck. Because normally when you have some of these right wing figures like Alex Jones, well, just using Alex as a good example, Alex Jones talks about fucking the Jews all the time, nonstop. It's the Jews, it's the lizard people, it's the everything, right? That is what Alex Jones is known for and what Alex Jones has built his career on. Remember, Alex Jones is the Pizzagate adrenochrome, he's kind of ground zero for a lot of the weird blood libel-y shit that the right wing has been, the much more farther half of the right wing has been dabbling in over the last, I'd say, I'd argue about 10 years or so, just to pick a nice round number. But Kanye West isn't even as sophisticated as Alex Jones as to hide his pro-Nazi, pro-Hitler, pro all that shit rhetoric. He's just not. He's going out there and just throwing it out there. There is no separation between Kanye and just any normal Nazi. There is no daylight between those two things, which isn't good. It's not good in the sense of again, it's not good for society to have somebody that famous. But do you think that Kanye is convincing anybody with any of this? Do you think there are people who are being what's the word? Whose minds are being opened or changed to any of this? Fuck no. You can change somebody's mind. This is how you usually do it. When when you want to do anti-Semitism, this is what you do. You try to tie everything back to bankers or whatever, bankers or the global elite. You pick the elites, the global elite, the bankers. You pick a really innocuous term, right? And you slowly can, and you pick all these bad things the bank bailout in 2008, we'll say. You pick let's another common conspiracy theory. You pick the drops in testosterone that men have been apparently suffering from over the last couple of years, that they've also, you do the masculinity angle, you do the economic angle. If you're more into kind of what's the word, the healthcare stuff, you do the COVID angle. You pick all these little things, right? And you tie all these strings, all leading back somehow. You go the big banks that hand out all the loans and stuff, and you tie that in, and you eventually tie all this stuff back to one center innocuous term like the banks or whatever. You do all of that. You first need to sell somebody on the idea that there's like this central structure that's working against them. That's the easy part. That's the easy part. As a leftist, it's very easy to do that. It's called capitalism, and it's not really all that hard. You can explain basically every conspiracy theory that the right wing has that ends with the Jews by explaining the simple functions of capitalism and how ownership over the means of production by too few people will eventually end you up in the result that we're in right now. So, wages are incredibly low. Medicine is becoming more expensive. The middle class is shrinking. All of these things can be explained by the approach to by most corporations is approach to profit, which is make as much of it as you can, everything else be damned. That is their end goal, is to make a profit, right? The profit motive is the only thing that they need to be doing. So like, it's really easy to get buy-in on the whole, like, yeah, there's like a central thing, but again, from a leftist perspective, it's not there's a central group, or if there is, it's not a central group in the sense of like an ethnic or a religious group. It's a class group. It's based on class. Whereas the right wing, what they'll do is use all of those examples of, medicine being overly expensive, all those things. They'll tie all those together and form this like center group. It's why all of their conspiracy theories always end up with, the Democrats being at the center of everything and Hollywood and everything else. There's always like a group of like in-net people that you need to have something that connects all of them. It can't be class, because unfortunately the right wing just doesn't have enough class consciousness to make that argument. So what else do? You grasp for the next thing that you could tie people together to, tangentially especially, is, well, hey, don't you notice there's, we already established that there's like a big problem with the consolidation of banking in our country. Well, don't you know who actually controls the banks? The Jews. And then like I think we watched Tuesday or Monday, I forget which one, but we watched that interview with Nick Fuentes and some like hip hop culture channel. I think it was No Jumper is what it was called. But if you noticed the way Nick kind of got them to that position of being like, oh, I get what you mean, is by leading them with the information that we all kind of already know and understand, and like think of it as as private institutions and everything else. But then you go, I'm just saying that, isn't it interesting that all these people might just happen to be Jewish or have Jewish family members and not be Jewish themselves, which somehow still counts. But either way, you tie all of that and then you move it on to the Jews, into an ethnic or religious minority group. And that's how you kind of launder all of those talking points. But Kanye doesn't even do that. Alex Jones knows he's supposed to do that. Nick Fuentes knows he's supposed to do that. Milo Yiannopoulos knows he's supposed to do that. But Kanye doesn't do that. Kanye just rolls in and just fucking says it. Kanye just goes, yeah, it's the Jews. Or Kanye just goes, yeah, it's the Jews. Also, I think Hitler and the Nazis were cool. And they got no cover, man. They like a... If you've ever played... I know exactly. If my mouse wants to work. I've been having a lot of mouse troubles today. I don't know what's going on. Last day or two, it just disconnects. Hello, are you awake? Mouse? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, go back. Let's see if I can find it. What is it called? Let's see. No, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, here we go. This is what's happening. I don't need a long clip. I just need give me the shortest possible clip. Here we go. This is what's happening. I will explain it with a mechanic from one of my favorite video games of the last of the last era. So, while everybody else is focused on, being a perfectly normal person, this is what Kanye is doing. Kanye is running immediately into the fight, hitting the nuke button, jumping out and being like, cool, goodbye. And you see all that? You see all that big ass explosion? That's Milo, that's Nick, that's Alex Jones, that's all of them. That is what he is doing. He is nuclear ejecting his bitch ass out of there by saying all this stuff without setup, which is, again, not good for them. Now, again, it's not good that somebody of his status, somebody of his at least cultural prestige in America, is pushing a lot of this stuff. But it's become really clear, I think, that Kanye West is not convincing anybody. He's not convincing anybody. So what is he really doing at the end of the day? He is fucking blowing up their entire attempt at least when it comes to Nick and Milo, it seems like they're just grifting for money. They're going to get paid pretty well from all these appearances and hang out with Kanye, and they get a good amount of clout. But, like, the end of the day, they're going to be left wide and exposed by the time all of this is over. Because Nick, as much as Nick has clips from his podcasts or whatever of him saying some, sussy isn't even the word, but, like, although there are clips of him already saying, like, pretty anti-Semitic shit, there is nothing out there with him saying, like, I really like Hitler, I really like the Nazis. And he's going to be tied to Kanye saying that from now on. He's also going to be tied to Kanye after, God willing, he gets some help and he's able to collect all of his thoughts. Then Nick and Milo and the rest of these guys are going to be fucked, because then Kanye is eventually going to come out. Again, this is all God willing. Going to come out of this, like, mania stupor that he's in and be like, holy shit, these guys threw me on every show that they could to get a bunch of attention. And then, obviously public opinion is not going to matter for those two types of guys, but it's going to damage them even more by the end of all of this. So, yeah. Whew. But yeah, that's a lot happening, folks. Also, okay, so we saw this. I want to watch this. I'm really curious. I haven't watched Breaking Points in a really long time. I feel like this is... let's just hear them out. I feel like this is going to be bullshit, but let's hear them out.
Let's go to Trump. This is a hilarious story. So this is an NBC.
Is it hilarious?
Which, forgive the source, but this...
For anybody unaware, Sagaran Jetty, right-wing... ish. Actually, no, he's very, very conservative and rather right wing. Crystal Ball, progressive, I'd say for the most part. Crystal Ball's a little bit. Here's my issue. This is why I don't watch this show as often as I used to, or at least I don't think I ever really watched Breaking Points. I watched Rising when Rising was kind of rising, but my issue overall with their show back then was just kind of, I always noticed Crystal being kind of the weak and willing to come more towards the right wing's, I think, framing. I noticed she would really bend over or at least lean forward in being able to at least hear out Sagar's more conservative framing on things, which is... Look, I understand when you're in conversations with people, you just kind of, you kind of let their framing be what their framing is. But they're both political actors, they're both political pundits. And it was just always, it got uncomfortable watching the person who was ostensibly the left-wing voice constantly cede framing to the person on the right wing, when there really wasn't a need to. A lot of times I found Sagar's framing to be rather dishonest, or at the very least in pretty bad faith, in my opinion, in a lot of aspects. Also, Crystal's kind of a, in that force the vote grouping of left-wing pundits and people. You got your Brian and Joy Grays and the like. Your Jimmy Dores and stuff. So it's I haven't watched a lot. I don't know what their show is like these days, but just the framing already that Trump was tricked into having Milo, or not, after having Nick at his at like that dinner earlier this week. I find that to be just a bit what's the word? Just a bit sussy. So that's why, in case nobody's seen these two before.
This journalist did a good job. Mark Caputo, he previously worked over Politico. I followed him for a long time. He reconstructed the Trump, Kanye, Fuentes, Milo dinner.
What does that even mean?
Talking, imagine this, to Nick Fuentes and to Milo and to Kanye.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, let's recreate it by talking to the fascists who would benefit the most from a favorable framing of their actions, politics, and interaction. Sure, totally.
About what happened. Put this up there on the screen. Mark says it's the inside story of the Trump's explosive dinner with Ye and with Fuentes.
Okay.
But one of the things that he points is that effectively the entire dinner was choreographed and stage managed by Milo. And Milo has long felt
was Milo
that
there?
Trump,
I think he
threw
was,
under the
yeah.
bus and,
right? Yeah.
For various reasons, has beefs and grievances with Milo.
Just 2 days before Thanksgiving, Donald Trump was planning to have a private, uneventful dinner with an old friend, Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West. The two had arranged to break bread Tuesday night at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Florida after weeks of private phone conversations, as Ye lost lucrative partnerships and became a mainstream cultural pariah for his anti-Semitic remarks, according to those familiar with the talks between the two. But Trump may have been walking into a trap in Mar-a-Lago's. Okay, so I don't like this. I'm not a fan of this, only because this is doing the same kind of thing that I think a lot of right-wing media does, which is, by the way, pretty favorable to Trump in terms of what's the word? His like kind of PR after that dinner, which was that nope. What did a lot of right wing pundits come out and say? Nope. Trump didn't know about it. He didn't know who Nick Fuentes was. He didn't know who was going to be there. They just ended up there. We don't know. It was kind of a trap. Please don't tie us to these guys. Which kind of sounds like bullshit to me. Also, if you're just going by like Milo and Nick Fuentes and Kanye's accounts, I don't know if they have the track record that you should really be trusting as a journalist. Call me crazy. It sounds like the entire room is full of dishonest grifters and clout sharks, but maybe that's just me. Maybe taking their opinions on face value isn't exactly the best way to perform journalism, but that's just me.
Milo, he effectively tricked a 2016 former Trump operative to drive the three of them from the airport to Mar-a-Lago as some sort of quasi-advisor and orchestrated the dinner in broad public view between Nick Fuentes and with Kanye, knowing, Crystal, that it was going to leak. The dinner was going to leak, and did so specifically to actually wound the Trump campaign. So it does seem to be that there were several useful idiots throughout this entire process.
Yeah, I think I'm watching one.
Milo himself appears to have known exactly what was going to happen, got Fuentes at the dinner, brought Fuentes with Kanye, then using some Trump operatives that he knew, getting them all into Mar-a-Lago, forcing the dinner in itself, and then getting Fuentes there, also having the dinner in public view, knowing that the dinner...
So this entire argument hinges on the idea, first of all, that both Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos actually think Kanye is mounting a successful run for president, which they can say that all they want. But if they want me to believe that they are doing any of this on behalf of Kanye for the betterment of his campaign, when Trump is right there, somebody who, by the way, is way more likely, has so much more broad appeal in terms of the Republican ticket and the Republican vote. Like, either one of two things. Either this is bullshit, which is what I think, or two, both Nick and Milo have drank so much of the Kool-Aid that they think they're going to campaign manage Kanye West, now open anti-Semite, into the White House, which is just insane. Just insane.
Dinner guests themselves were going to leak, all as part of a process to damage Trump, which just shows you that's how easy Trump is to fool, which is hilarious.
I buy the conspiracy.
Oh, I buy it too. I absolutely buy it.
Yeah,
of course.
Seems like, I mean,
this is
not that
this
I
is
know Milo,
this
but,
is
like, have really
this is what I mean. 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 Like to you know, these guys are like, Crystal's been on TV forever. Sauger's been in like the White House press briefing. Like, I'm just some fucker in like in a bedroom. Like, I'm sorry. No. If you don't think this is an active like campaign on the on behalf of the Trump campaign to distance themselves from Nick Fuentes, another open Semite, and Kanye West, you're nuts. You're nuts. They've been trying to play PR defense since all of that came out. Naturally, they would so much rather Trump look like a fucking idiot and allowing Fuentes to just show up, because the entire narrative around Trump, around his his openness to white supremacists and white supremacist organizations, has always been that he doesn't know anybody there, and that he's too stupid to know who any of these people are, or he doesn't know about any of the stuff going on. Like no. This is all just cover for Trump to be like, well, look, I got nothing to do with Nick Fuentes. No, get the fuck out of here.
Followed him even that closely, but it seems like the sort of devious and underhanded plot that he might be able to pull off.
Doesn't seem that hard to pull off.
Right. I mean, and this is not to let Trump off the hook here, because
Except you
ultimately
are.
it relied on Trump taking a look at this group and being like, yes, I want to have dinner with you, and yes, I want to have dinner. Apparently, he intentionally sat them in like a very prominent place, because he was very
like, dude, if that's what you think, if you think Trump was like tricked into this, he could have just walked into the room, seen the other two, and been like, nope, I'm out, bye, nope, you two out, just Kanye, that's the only person I'm talking to. But he didn't. He actively sat with them. So I'm like, no. To
be there with Kanye, and thought that it'd be fun for the guests of Mar-a-Lago to see Kanye there. And so, yeah, there's this kind of like, I mean, it's interesting to, who knows how accurate this reporting ultimately is, because it's based on the account of, like, you know.
Well, see, kind of the three people involved.
I know, but they're very.
The three people who are the most dishonest. Oh no. This is why I don't really watch Breaking Points. Because at the end of the day, Sauger's just gonna be like, well, it's like the three people. It's just like, I mean, I don't know. It's like, no. This sounds fucking stupid. This sounds outrageous. At a time when a lot of outrageous shit is going on, this is the most outrageous right here.
Very untrustworthy people, right? So you can't really take their word for it. But anyway, there's this sort of fateful moment where they're standing there, and the former Trump aide lady is like, Mr. President, I understand. We're supposed to have dinner, just you and Mr. West. You know, we're happy to go.
His name's Ye now?
Like,
wait. I just thought about this. Is his name now Ye West, or is it just Ye? Did we cut the con part out of, or like, is all of it gone, or is it? I don't actually know. I was just curious.
Well, I'll let Kanye decide what he wants to do. And Kanye's like, let's all eat.
He's like, let's all eat
Let's
together.
all eat. So they all sit down.
Why are we giddy about this?
So looks like looks like he may have been.
What is going on with this show?
Also walked right into the trap. They exploited exactly his like weaknesses for attention and flattery and carelessness and all that stuff. And
yeah, I just thought.
And this is always the defense. This is always kind of the right wing's defense of Trump, in that, like, we all know he's incredibly self-centered. He's incredibly self-absorbed. We all know that, and they've been using that ever since his election in 2016 to kind of brush away a lot of the stuff, a lot of the, again, a lot of the, there's good people on both sides when it's like open Nazis and protesters of Nazis, like stuff like that. Like it's just like, this is what I don't like. This is why I don't watch this show, is because every time we just kind of have to defer at least a good little bit to the right wing's framing of Trump. It can't be that Trump knows anything. He's just an idiot. So when he does something that's like just so happens to align with white supremacist talking points, ideology, and kind of the goals that they want to set in propagating their whole movement, I don't know. Trump was just too stupid to recognize it. When it's no. The guy has Secret Service. He knows everybody in the building. I think like the Young Turks made this point where that he has Secret Service. If you are a former president and you are showing up somewhere, they know everybody that's in that building. Like, the Secret Service does not fuck around. There was no way that he does not know, hey, just to let you know, you were expecting Kanye West, and that's it. There are 2 extra people in his party that are coming to see you. It's this person, this person. You're aware of that. Like, no.
In there.
It was funny too,
Like-
because this shows the other angle of it. Like, outside of the outrage about the dinner and all of that, just how easy it was to play, and also, Milo's maliciousness orchestrating this entire thing. I haven't
Apparently
seen
he's
anybody
been-
really talk about it.
Apparently, he's been saying for a while that he wanted to get revenge on
Yes.
Trump. We didn't cover it here, but I'm sure you guys saw like the whole Tim Pool has
Right.
the 3 of them on, and then within like 10 minutes, Kanye gets up and storms down at the slightest bit of pushback on his
Yeah, like nothing
anti-Semitic
happened.
nonsense. They, in the after discussion, were sort of floating this, and I didn't really know what they were referring to, but I think Tim said something about like Milo had said that he wanted to get revenge on Trump, so they kind of had it in mind that maybe this was what ultimately unfolded. Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is.
Wait, did they cover did they cover the original stuff? Now I'm really curious. What was their like take on all this? Or did they just not cover it? It wouldn't really shock me if. Oh yeah, I know the Balenciaga stuff. Yeah. Maybe they just didn't cover it. Oh no. Yeah, I think Sagar's also a kind of a crypto guy, which, well, something. What is this? Announces. No. I don't want to hear. Maybe they didn't cover it. American, no, yeah, no duh. Yep, the economy's like busted. Let's see, Control F. Why is Taylor Swift on here? Oh, right, okay. Let's do that, see if, okay, let's see, we got, Actually, no, I am curious. What is this? That's that one. What's the 4th one? Okay, that's not the thing I was looking for. Show me. Let's do it.
You've
Fuck
probably
it.
been following this. Kanye has decided he's going to run for president in 2024. He's been hanging out with Milo Yiannopoulos. He's been hanging out with this Holocaust denier, right-wing white supremacist dude called Nick Fuentes.
Sorry, guys. We're gonna watch this in
made a
1080. We're not.
trip
No.
down to Mar-a-Lago to visit President Trump, former President Trump.
Right.
where he apparently asked him to be his vice presidential running mate.
Quite amazing.
Okay.
I remember that.
And afterwards, he dropped this little video, which revealed it was not just Kanye and Trump who was having dinner. That anti-Semitic white nationalist dude, Nick Fuentes, was also at the table. Let's take a listen to the video that Kanye put out.
I think we watched this. Oh yeah, we watched this.
Me asking him to be my vice president. I think that was we know.
Yeah, we watched this. I just want to hear their commentary on this.
So
Wow.
there's a lot to say about that.
I cannot help but feel like Sagar is fucking loving this and would vote for Kanye. I just can't help. Like, I feel like he'd do it out of like a joke, but like either way, you still voted for him.
I mean, first of all, let's not forget Kanye ran for president last time
He did,
around.
yeah.
Missed the ballot deadlines. I mean, immediately launches and is having public meltdowns. I mean, this is a man who clearly has untreated mental illness, which is an important context for this whole story. So there's that. He got, I think, 60,000 votes. Not a really strong showing, ultimately. But, you know, he's been a sort of Trump hanger-on. There was a big White House visit. He's been a fan of Trump's, all that stuff. He's been embraced by a lot of right-wing figures because of that, even as lately he's been just going all in on this anti-Semitic. It's, you know, going into every like stereotypical trope about the Jewish people that you possibly could. So there's been a bit of a distancing there.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of like levity, and I'm not sure I'm comfortable with how much levity is going on in this presentation, but okay.
So already, just Kanye going to Mar-a-Lago is already not advisable at this point, right? Then you add into the mix Nick Fuentes, and this turns into, obviously, people going like, what the hell are you?
So Crystal, obvious. So I want to point out also, Crystal, so they both have like their respective sides' kind of literature up here. We got I think that's Noam Chomsky's Manufacturing Consent, which, let me say, if I have to fucking see Noam Chomsky on shit ever again, it'll be too damn soon. I'm not saying the guy's dumb or anything. I'm all fine with Noam Chomsky, but goddamn, am I sick and tired of hearing arguments that are just based on stuff Noam Chomsky said.
You thinking about here, former President Trump, who has just announced his reelect. So as he does, he takes to Truth Social to try to lie and clean this thing up as best he can. Let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. This is his first statement. There were a number of statements. I'll read you two of them that Trump put out on Truth Social. Here's the first one. He says, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, was a seriously troubled man who just happens to be
okay. Yeah. I just want. Okay.
Things, I think.
Okay.
With Kanye,
this is what I want.
And the reemergence of Milo and Nick, I just find it incredible that they are so willing to latch on to an obviously mentally ill and crazy person.
Really?
Not only
that's the surprising part.
Just for the 2 minutes of fame that they both like so desperately crave. And it's also especially ironic that it's like the moment that a canceled black artist who comes into prominence, they're like, oh yeah, you know what? We're gonna latch ourselves onto them for notoriety. So in a lot of ways, it's actually a huge victory for the two of them, who all they really care about is getting people to even say their name and to pay attention to them in the first place. And
Milo,
I mean, in many
that's
ways,
what I
they
said.
have succeeded. So
Milo
congratulations.
has been relegated to the sidelines for quite a while now. After like,
am I the only one who didn't recognize him? In that, I was like, oh my god, that. It's only until someone was like, that's Milo. I was like, oh my god, that is Milo.
Yeah, I was watching with Kyle.
Right.
And
Yeah, I think he's like straight now.
He's like, no, that's
right?
Milo.
Yeah, he's like, if I remember correctly, he got like straightified, didn't he? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm fairly certain though.
Anyway, for those of you who are just listening and not watching, Milo is standing there the whole time in the video.
Right. He's his campaign manager.
With Kanye.
Right.
Campaign manager,
manager, apparently. And this dude, you know, the last time we saw him, he was doing an unpaid internship for Marjorie Taylor Greene. That was one. The recent foray into politics.
Before that, he was no longer gay and he was Christian. So,
right. He was actually on YouTube, like selling these like Christian tchotchkes on like some Catholic channel.
Oh yeah, I think I saw the video of that. That was
I mean,
sad.
Milo cares about nothing other than
like hilarious. Like Milo's a terrible person, so it's more funny. But like,
guys, they're excellent at what they do, which is that they say outrageous things, they get people
degraded as a person,
and use that reaction in order to fuel even more trolling against said people, in order to draw eyeballs toward the screen.
This is also the thing. Let's be clear. Milo, Nick Fuentes, like, think about how many people on the right you could probably name that basically do what these guys do. They clout shark, they say incredibly like outrageous, ridiculous stuff. They get a whole bunch of attention, they fizzle out, right? How many people on the right end up just saying something controversial, something racist, something homophobic, transphobic, whatever it is? They get their like 5 minutes in the news when everyone's like, whatever, and they diss a fucking peer. Like it's kind of the right wing thing these days, isn't it?
I guess fine. The point is,
like, I feel like Sauger thinks like it's like funny, but I'm like, dude, that's your side. Like, that's your side. That's the conservative side. I don't like. It's funny, but like,
liberals out, and it was fun. now
recognize
because
it's taking
so
place in your
hysterical,
house.
the normal GOP causes them to melt down. You don't actually need censored performance artists to do so. They simply have no role. I think there deeply is something to that. And beyond that, I find it tired and boring. Like in a lot of the ways that they were able to freak out and latch on to, the so-called Trump movement was because it generally was dissonant to be pro-Trump in 2015 and in 2016. It's no longer dissonant to do so. Trump is the GOP.
The man was president of the United
president
States.
of the United States. Many
He's the
people
leader of the
have
party.
reconciled themselves to it. So it's like, what value add?
I also
are
have
you
no
giving
idea
to the
what
conversation? And then,
Sager's
of
DeSantis
course,
stance
they're
is.
abhorrent, in particular, what they say.
I feel like he's probably,
and the statement.
if we're talking, I would have to guess that Sager's probably like a Trump guy. He probably wants Trump over DeSantis, I'm assuming.
Even that Milo.
But then again,
out,
I know he really likes
there's
DeSantis.
A more recent one that actually just
A
came
big
out
part
this
of
morning.
Sager's
I'll read it
politics is
directly.
still
This is from
just
Gab.
owning the libs and
Of course, it's
reacting to whatever
prolific.
liberals
It says this,
do.
quote,
Which
Nick and didn't discredit the Trump 2024 campaign. Trump did that by himself.
I just want people who have like actual opinions that don't start with, well, because the liberals. That's all I want.
Of the Jewish powers that be who hate Jesus Christ.
That be who hate
See
Jesus.
us all as disposable cattle according to their quote holy book. So I don't think you.
I fucking love
literally
that.
like reading something.
Be who
from
he
the
who
Middle
hates.
Ages.
Yeah.
So whenever you look at this.
Fuentes has said of his opposition to LGBTQ rights, he's referred to it as the bastardized Jewish subversion
Amazing.
of the American creed that is dismantling our civilization. So,
So yeah, this
we're
is
not like
this is yeah. I mean, look, they're Nazis. They're all Nazis, but like the way that they have to like always bring the Jews in it is what like should stick out to you in terms of where their brain and how simple their fucking brains are. Because you can look at the increasing number of gay, lesbian, trans people, bi people, all the rest of that stuff. You can look at that and you can go like, you could look at that and go, oh well, I'm not in one of those groups, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable with how many more people that I don't really recognize that are similar to me seem to keep now start popping up, right? Like you could, that's kind of what people's what's the word? At the end of the day, core opposition is to LGBT folks. Is they're just kind of grossed out and kind of weirded out. And like the thing that like Nick Fuentes and all these guys latch on to is that initial like uneasy feeling because you don't understand a group or something, and they lead you into like, well, it's because the Jews have been pushing a global, I think I've heard it before, it's like a global homo campaign, I think is what somebody said. And it's this whole conspiracy, and it's like the Jews to them are behind everything. Like you're like, you fucking stubbed your toe like this morning. It was because the Jews orchestrated your bed frame to be a certain width and thickness that is perfectly scientifically designed to maximize the amount of pain to your toe when you stub it. Like they will go out of their way to do this stuff. So I mean, these people are fucking crazy. I feel like people don't take them super seriously, and there's a part of me that says no, just like make fun of them and call it a day, which is what you should be doing, which is absolutely what you should be doing. But also there's a certain amount of seriousness, I think, as a society that we need to treat this with, because there are open Nazis in our society. At one of the most vocal people in like American culture is doing Nazi speak. So there's also that, but it always comes back to the Jews, and it's just so weird. It's so fucking weird. Like it can't just be I'm grossed out. Like if Nick was just like, look, I'm just like grossed out by gay people because it's something I don't understand. It's fine. I find it kind of weird. That's fine. You're a fucking idiot and kind of triggered, but like at least you're being honest. But you got to go through the whole Jewish thing, because that's also how they kind of launder their like anti gay rhetoric too. Is they make it about the Jews, even though it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Just keep going. just a whole thing.
You know, this is very clear cut. It's not like borderline type of rhetoric here.
What I know with both of them is they just want attention. It's very clear. They are trolls. They are obviously always trying to say outrageous things. I'm not saying they don't actually necessarily believe them, but what they have both calculated and always.
I'm pretty sure Nick does. Nick doesn't go to the work. I don't think you go to the work, the amount of work he's done by creating like a streaming app and everything just to like not actually give a shit about
I think what's
about all that stuff.
really
Milo doesn't give a fuck.
Is that they
Milo
were
doesn't believe
able
anything
and are still
besides
only to
whatever
really
will
get
make him more money.
like most grifting like mentally ill person to latch onto
They're literally,
in order to do so. It actually shows a level of deep desperation whenever you're willing to do that.
I'd say depravity. I don't know about desperation. I mean, they're always desperate. They're always on the margins of society.
Is that the world is
because they're fucking losers.
Like the online right has moved very, very far past these figures. It wasn't just them getting deleted off of Twitter and off of social media. It was
which Elon might bring them back. Who knows?
You're beyond crazy. You're boring now. Like you're doing the same shtick that you've been doing now for several years. So that's anyway. I think the greatest. Notice,
and here's my problem with this. Notice that nothing he said in there had anything to do with the value of what they're pushing. It all had to do with the framing and how they push it. Sauger so far has only said that they're boring because they push thinly veiled propaganda. Not that they're boring and not because they're incredibly extreme because they say crazy out there shit. More like, you're saying all this, but you're really not hitting at full strength there. You need to, I find that interesting. I find that a bit interesting.
The greatest
also not super surprising,
these
but
two individuals,
interesting.
Just really not talk about them or give them the attention. In this case, we have to. I mean, they met with the former president of the United States. That again, to take it even up with Trump, it's like people were like, I can't believe that Nick Fuentes got into Mar-a-Lago. I'm like, really?
Like,
yeah,
you're shocked by that, honestly?
I was like, I'm literally not shocked by that at all. People were like, what kind of process does he have in place? None. Guess what, guys? When I was in the Oval Office, I remember this. There at one point were like 7 people while I was interviewing Trump just floating in and out of there. Yeah. And that's just actually not how it's supposed to work at all. You're really not supposed to have so many people who are allowed in and out. That is the level of chaos and the ability for, remember that the Mike Lindell and Overstock CEO who were doing all this insane stop the steal stuff?
Yeah, and they like...
Okay, we're done with this. I was just curious. I was mostly just... Oh man, that's a lot of Kanye. It's a lot of Kanye. Anyway, yeah. So Kanye's lost his mind. We kind of already knew that, but wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. A lot of content, a lot of woof behavior. Jesus Christ. Still kind of can't play. Okay. Take a break or just jump right into the one. Take no. Not actually gonna do that. No. We're just gonna keep rolling. Fuck it. Do a live. Fuck it. Who cares? Okay, let's go. So, New York City. New York City is a big city. It is the site of basically every action movie that you've ever seen. It's been blown up, flattened, disintegrated, invaded. New York City has seen it all. But what it's seeing right now, in our current universe, the boring one, sadly, is a homeless problem, which also... admittedly, we see a lot in a lot of cities around America. The key reason for that is the inability for Americans to afford housing. It's really simple. With the increase in housing costs, with more people finding it harder and harder to not just buy houses, but also sustain living within apartments. you're naturally going to have people that fall through the cracks of society and government assistance isn't available to them, or it wasn't, or either it's not available to them or there's no way for us to get that assistance to them. But either way, there are, if you spend any time in a city, you've seen it on the corners, you've seen it at like the highway intersections, you see it next to highways. Here in Denver, where I live, homelessness is a continually growing problem. And as communities try to, I think, address this, it's smart to go about it in a way that isn't fucking stupid. So let's look at what New York City's attempt to fix a little bit of that. So, New York City Mayor Eric Adams plans to hospitalize mentally ill people involuntarily. The mayor of New York City announced on Tuesday that he is ordering police and emergency services to more aggressively hospitalize those with mental illness who are on the streets, even if the hospitalization is involuntary and they pose no threat to other people. So, 1984 much? Yeah, this is not good. Not good at all. Mayor Eric Adams' directive would give outreach workers, city hospitals, and first responders, including police, discretion to forcibly hospitalize. Am I saying that word correctly? Hospitalize? I think I am. It just doesn't sound right coming out when I say it at a certain speed. Anyone they deem as not, quote, meeting their basic human needs, causing them to be a danger to themselves. Adams told a news conference. The mayor called the directive an attempt to clear up a, quote, gray area where policy, law, and accountability have not been clear. I don't know what the fuck accountability is in there for. Adding that the mandate is a moral obligation to act in light of a crisis we see all around us. These New Yorkers and hundreds of others like them are in urgent need of treatment, yet often refuse it when offered. The very nature of their illnesses keeps them from realizing they need intervention and support. Without that intervention, they remain lost and isolated from society, tormented by delusion and disordered thinking. They cycle in and out of hospitals and jails. Okay. The Adams administration did not provide evidence that forced treatment is effective in treating mental illness or preventing crime. 'Cause it's not. I don't... Just keep going. We'll talk about it afterwards. Advocacy groups for civil rights groups. What the fuck? Advocacy groups for civil rights groups. Okay. And the homeless criticized the mayor's mandate. Quote, the mayor is playing fast and loose with the legal rights of New Yorkers and is not dedicated the resources necessary to address the mental health crisis that affect our communities. Forcing people into treatment is a failed strategy for connecting people to long-term treatment and care. The Coalition for the Homeless also denounced the mayor's plan, saying that the city should focus on expanding access to voluntary psychiatric treatment. Mayor Adams continues to get it wrong when it comes to his reliance on ineffective surveillance, policing, and involuntary transport and treatment of people with mental illness. State law also generally limits the ability of authorities to force someone into a mental health facility unless they pose a danger to themselves or others. But Adams called such limitations a myth. I don't know about that. Stating that the law does not require a person to be behaving in an, quote, outrageously dangerous or suicidal way before a police officer, or medical worker could take action. Ugh, goodness. As part of its initiative, the city said it would open a phone line to allow police officers to consult with clinicians. I wonder how often that'll be used. The mayor has also announced a subway safety plan and vowed to expand outreach teams made up of clinicians and police officers, but critics call the plan a crackdown on the mentally ill and the homeless. Spokesperson for New York Governor Kathy Hochul said the city's plan builds on mutual efforts to increase capacity of psychiatric hospitals as well as expand outreach teams in subways. So, New York, it seems like, has decided on the wonderful idea of, if there are people in your society who are homeless and most likely mentally ill, because a lot of homeless people do suffer from mental illness. I mean, let's be honest, that sort of experience would probably give you PTSD, just based on that experience in life alone. I would bet that homelessness is pretty shocking of a life event. But yeah, New York City's solution, at least the mayor's solution, is, what if we just round them all up and shove them into hospitals? Now, I feel like I don't really need to expand too much into why that's like a dog shit idea. On top of, like, leaving aside the fact that, are police equipped, or, like, as far as I know, police are not awarded the training, are not given the training and proper tools necessary to assess if somebody is mentally ill. We've seen that multiple times, where police are simply not really all that capable of identifying the proper techniques, or identifying the issues that the mentally ill might have. And what do we see as a result from that? Violence towards those with mental illnesses. Sometimes, I'd be interested to see what these numbers are going to look like after this takes effect. We see, the killing of folks who are mentally ill, because police are just not really capable of addressing those issues. I shouldn't say really not capable. They're not trained to deal with those issues. So this all just kind of sounds like a dog shit of an idea, on the face of it. Essentially what you're going to end up getting, what I would guess you're going to end up getting, is homeless people going about their usual homeless lives and suddenly being accosted by the police because, I don't know, somebody in the neighborhood, somebody somebody living in one of maybe the nicer boroughs, one of the nicer neighborhoods, spies, they look out their window, they see this homeless guy just rambling about, walking around. They call the police, and the police are going to show up. And to that person who's calling this in, they see the homeless person leave, and now their neighborhood's all cleared up again, right? But what's happening? The police are coming in contact with these people with damn sure not the proper training. I didn't see anything in this about properly training officers to deal with this, because you can take clinicians and you can say that we're going to have psychiatrists and whoever, and medical individuals with with the police at all times, but there's nothing in here that's stating that measure at all. So it kind of just appears that we're gonna have cops picking up people who might be napping on a bench or sitting in a park, and maybe they're homeless, maybe they're not, maybe they're mentally ill, maybe they're not. But either way, they're going to get removed from whatever bench or whatever, because suddenly officers are going to be deciding the mental acuity of random citizens. Doesn't really sound like the best idea to me. What we've found, what a lot of people have generally found that actually stems homelessness and helps to fix the problem of homelessness in this country is, as they mentioned, housing. That's like the number one thing. The number one thing, if you want to fix homelessness in your city, in your community, any of that, it's really simple. You build housing. Because when you're homeless, the thing that you're going to run up against more than anything is going to be a place to stay, is going to be shelter, and the ability to have access to food, and a place where it'd probably be good to be able to receive mail also, but somewhere where you can put roots down briefly, at least just briefly even. When people generally go homeless, it's because they lost a job, because, you know, a lot of people lose a lot when they have to declare medical bankruptcy in this country, which, again, that's another angle to this that we'll get to afterwards. But a lot of people, what ends up leaving them homeless are all of these little things that end up taking away their ability to settle down in one place. You can't build anything when you're living nomadically, especially when you're living nomadically around like a city or anything like that. There's like why do you think why do you think there are these like what's the word I'm looking for? The like camping tent looking areas that homeless people will kind of congregate as a group in. It's because they're building society. They're putting roots down. As you begin to kind of build those roots, you have a place that you can return to. So you figure out a place that you can shower, a place that you can do all of the things that let you function normally as you try to weave yourself back into society. So most of the time we find that the best way to help people if they're homeless is housing, giving them a space that they can call their own, even if it's something small. The best thing to do is give them that so that they can get on their feet, get themselves a job, and then from there, they're back functioning in society. But that's not what this is doing. All this is going to end up doing is have people go in and out of hospitals and accrue bills that they already probably can't pay for, because we also live in a broken healthcare system that doesn't afford these folks the ability to acquire healthcare, to have any means of voluntarily, addressing their mental issues. We're going to talk about it a little bit later with the rail strike, but these are the consequences of our very capitalist, very broken, very dysfunctional healthcare system. Because our system is not based on reaching a healthcare goal for people, or putting it a little bit better way. Our goal, the system of healthcare in our country has nothing to do with health, has nothing to do with care. What it has everything to do with, and what it's built on, is a desire to exploit one's want to live healthily and live fully for profit. That's all the system is built for. If you cannot create profit, there wouldn't be anything. It's why there's not hospitals in some rural areas. It's why there's not, it's why recently, do I have that picture? I don't think I do. Damn it, I didn't send it to myself. So recently, I went into my local grocery store. I want to tell the story really quickly. And as I'm going through buying, I don't even remember really what I went in to buy, I walked past a big sign. On that sign, there's a little explainer, and it says, let me see if I can find it. I know I put it on my phone. No, what's happening? I know exactly what I'll do. I know exactly what I'll do. We'll do that. Okay. I want everyone to kind of see this. There we go. Let's see. Nope, I need this email address, please. There we go. So, assuming you can read any of that, can I like open this in another? No, I can't. What am I looking? Zoom. Really? I'm gonna zoom and that's what you're gonna do? Fucking stupid. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Let's take a look at this. So, I go into the local King Soopers, and this is what we get to see. Pull this down just a little bit. Effective the first day of next year, our pharmacy will no longer be an in-network pharmacy with Cigna/Express Scripts, which may impact your Medicare Part D plan selection for 2023. Our pharmacy participates in many other insurance plan networks. So, what's the thing that you always hear from people whenever they would like to oppose Medicare for All or any other socialized healthcare system in this country? You hear two arguments. Well, a couple arguments, but the one that I want to focus on. You'll hear two arguments. One, we can't afford it, which is just complete horseshit. We already know that we can afford it. I don't even know who still tries to make that argument, mainly because if you take a look at our budget and where all the money goes, it's pretty obvious that we have the money for this need. We just don't have the priorities set to fix this need. But the other one, the big argument, is usually choice. So the big argument will be, oh, well, if the system that we have now allows you the most amount of freedom, the most amount of choice to go see whatever doctor you're in, yada, yada, yada. Is that true? If you've ever bought healthcare for yourself, is that true? Or is this the reality that most people have to deal with? That arbitrarily, their ability to buy medicine at a reasonable price is now suddenly denied, is now suddenly not there for them. Now, I live in a city. There is, on the way to this King Soopers, there is a CVS, there is a Walgreens, there is a Safeway. There is also a Walmart very close in the opposite direction. We are not long for other options in terms of receiving one's medication. But the problem with this system is that at the end of the day, if this was the only King Soopers in my area, or if all of those other options I just listed also were in different networks, there might be 5 of them on the way, but how many of them do participate in Cigna or Express Scripts or whoever your insurance is? How many of them participate in that? And how many of them, if you have 2 options out of 5, 3 options out of 5, what do you do when you have 1 option out of 5? What do you do when that 1 option is now gone and now your medicine is miles away into the next town? Now what do you do? What do you do when the medicine that you buy is suddenly vastly more expensive because it's now in a new network? What do you do when the doctor that you've been going to see is now in a new network? All of this stuff, when it comes down to it, is due to the capitalist healthcare system that we have. The only reason that this King Soopers is not taking Cigna or whatever insurance company, the only reason it's not doing this anymore, you know why? It's not because the customers don't want to use the services at this King Soopers. It's not because they can't get drugs there. It's not any of these things. It is simply that it was not in the best profit making practice of that insurer. Never mind that there are hundreds, thousands, I have no idea how many people go to that pharmacy who were, with Cigna as their insurer. But guess what? Those people now have to go somewhere else for their medicine. Are they able to? Is that the one that's closest to them? Sure, there are other options. Again, I live in a much more populated area in terms of businesses. But what do you do when you're not? Then you're just completely fucked. So, when we talk about homelessness, and when we want to address the healthcare consequences of those who suffer from homelessness, a solution to this, which is also, I should say, fixing our broken healthcare system. Because our broken healthcare system is also how these people end up this way, how they end up not able to pay for drugs, how they end up not being able to acquire them, even though maybe they'd be able to pay for them. It all comes down to, at the end of the day, our system is not built to keep people in their best state. The goal is to keep you in the barest minimum state that we can get you to as a society to be useful as an employee. Because, it's why your healthcare is frequently, most people's healthcare is frequently tied to their jobs. Like, we tie the ability to not get sick. We tie the ability to be able to monitor our health. We tie all of these intrinsic things of like being a human and sustaining our humanity and stuff. We tie all of that to our job. That's you take that away, you take someone's job away, and you take their healthcare away. It's happened to me. And it's the most terrifying thing. You don't know if and when or how you're going to get sick. You have no idea. Could be tomorrow. Could be a month. Could be a year. You don't know. You never know these things. But it means now you're tied to your job now. So, we've got to do something about the system. It's utterly broken. And this whole let's force mentally ill people into hospitals, this ain't it, Chief. There is nothing that is going to do besides create more profit for whatever hospital. Because understand, somebody's going to be fronting that bill. And it's going to be one of two people. Either A, upon release, these people who have been homeless for months, maybe years, are going to get handed a bill for being forcibly thrown into a hospital bed, or it's going to come out of the tax budget. You're going to end up subsidizing something that isn't going to work. And there might be people who sit in those hospitals for how long? A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the entire, how many, what are the programs going to be like? This is all bad. It's all bad. It does not solve the problem that it portends to solve. All this is targeting homeless people. All this is targeting mentally ill people. And all this is, quite frankly, is targeting people who are already at the margins of our society and marginalizing them even more, taking away even their right to voluntarily seek care. So, not good. Not good whatsoever. Utterly bad. Cringe even. Cringe, some might say. But it's getting cold in my I need a lozenge. But anyway, so sticking with kind of the healthcare topic, I want to kind of take a look at the rail strike vote, which happened yesterday. I'm pretty sure yesterday. So Railroad workers have been in negotiations with the railway operators for quite some time now. One of their biggest, what's the word, negotiating points has been the ability to gain, well, has been more sick days, which goes right into what I mentioned about healthcare. But we do not have in this country a federal mandate for sick leave. So any job you work, there is no mandate and no requirement for them to pay you sick leave. Some states and some cities, I believe Denver requires, if you like own a business in Denver, that you have to offer sick days, accrued sick days, and they usually set standards of those. So your local municipality might do that, but there is no federal requirement to do any of that, which is insane considering we just got out of a global pandemic and somehow we didn't learn the lesson that maybe people need to be paid while they're out sick, because we can't all be healthy 100% of the time. But what they've been arguing mostly for has been for sick days. The contract that the railway has kind of pushed forward offers, and you're gonna, if I get some of these wrong, I apologize, but I believe it was a 24% pay increase. It was a there were like bonuses that they were offering. I believe they're also expanding some of their healthcare options. But the sticking point and the thing that these railway companies wouldn't budge on was sick days. They did not want to, what's the word I'm looking for, grant more sick days. I believe 7 is kind of what the there's 2 bills. 7 sick days was what one of the bills was trying to implement. So that would be 7 days out of the year that if you're sick, you can call out and you're fine. Previously, before this point, well, I think obviously still now, if you're a railroad worker and you have to call out sick, you get 2 chances to do that a year. You don't get paid for either of them. And on the third one, you're out. So, being able to only be sick twice a year, again, not only with COVID going around, with normal flus, with everything else, with getting injured on the workplace or just getting injured in general, 2 days is not even close to reasonable. On top of that, you're also not even getting paid. So, when people have to call out for work and they're unable to get paid, that especially with the wages being what they are, that will, that could devastate you for a certain amount of time, since most Americans live pretty close to the edge in terms of not quite the poverty line, but not being able to put food on the table, not being able to pay rent, and all the rest of the things. So not having paid sick leave is quite a squeeze on these workers. Over the last couple of years, the railways have also put themselves in this position in a way by slashing a lot of their workforce because they've let a lot of people go, or they've fired people, or whatever. They've let enough people go to the point that the actual workload is being spread onto a lower number of workers. And that seems to be kind of the sticking point a little bit, that, the railways, if they were to accommodate 7 days of sick leave from all of their employees, what do you have to do? You're going to have to hire more people. And if you hire more people, that's more out of the budget. More out of the budget comes out of the profits. If it comes out of the profits, it comes out of the executives' pay when they get bonuses for reaching, profit benchmarks and stuff. So, all these workers want is, dignified sick days and to not be, quite frankly, abused in this way. So I want to kind of take a look at the two bills. This video should tell me about that. We'll find out. Maybe it won't, and then we'll have to watch a different video. But yeah, we'll see. It's Wall Street Journal, not my favorite publication, but let's let them talk. Give myself a little break, shall we?
The joint resolution is passed.
Congress approved legislation that would force the adoption of a tentative labor agreement, averting what could have been a massive rail strike involving about 115,000 workers. Unions and railroad carriers came to an agreement in September to avoid a strike. But 4 of the 12 rail unions rejected that contract, citing specifically a lack of paid sick days. But how can Congress intervene in private contract negotiations, forcing unions to accept a deal? Thanks to the Railway Labor Act, which was enacted in the 1920s, Congress has the authority to act to avoid any interruption to commerce or operation, which specifically includes the settlement of all disputes when it comes to things like pay and working conditions.
So I want to point out with this, keep in mind, nothing in here states that they have to decide in any kind of way. This is just giving Congress the ability to pretty much settle any kind of labor dispute if it's in certain industries. Obviously, railroads being one of them. I believe so are planes in there, but like shipping stuff like that through plane, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I believe they got grandfathered in. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Freight rail moves about 40% of U.S. long-distance cargo and delivers goods including coal, grain, and ethanol. And 3/4 of new cars and trucks bought in the U.S. are also moved by rail. Industry analysis shows that if a rail strike took place, the U.S. economy would risk losing more than $2 billion a day.
It's a lot of money.
President Biden, who has hailed himself as pro-labor, encouraged Congress to pass the legislation.
It's not an easy call, but I think we have to do it. The economy
This is bullshit, by the way.
is at risk.
Members of Congress, however, are divided over the decision to intervene.
It's incumbent upon Congress
Woo!
to do everything that it can to protect these workers.
If you're passing a bill
Fuck this guy.
to force the rail workers to work, how strong is your economy?
So, Republicans are playing populist. They don't really mean it. But Democrats, unfortunately, are ceding a lot of ground to them, which I don't appreciate because it makes Republicans look like they're at all on the side of the working class, which they're not.
This isn't the first time Congress has stepped in. They've done it 18 times.
Jesus.
But not since the early 90s, when Congress and President George H.W. Bush passed
Boo.
legislation ordering workers back to their jobs, and then created mandatory arbitration, which has long alleviated Congress from getting involved. But this time, because that arbitration wasn't agreed on, Congress acted earlier, hampering workers' ability to go on strike and forcing the acceptance of the agreement, which
the agreement was what I mentioned. And this is the thing. We saw how there were 4 holdouts for the labor unions. Those 4 holdouts were holding out for their 7 sick days, right? That was kind of their entire ask, and probably one of the biggest asks that all of the union groups had been asking for. Sick leave was a big concern, mainly because a lot of these rail workers don't get time off. They don't see their families. They don't, they can't call out when they're sick, which ends up spreading sicknesses, what ends up, making people have to call out, but they can only do so 2 times out of the year. It's a whole fucking mess. But unfortunately, while passing the bill in the, I believe it was the Senate, or not the Senate, in the House, I'm sorry. While passing that bill, there was, actually, let's see if I can get the vote up really quick. I thought this was the vote. Railway vote. Actually, no, we'll do rail strike. Let's try that one. What am I looking for? Should we watch? Ooh, what's this? Give it to me. Give me Bernie.
The amendment is not agreed to. Under the previous order, the Senate will now proceed to consideration of H. Con Res. 119, which the clerk will report.
H. Con Res. 119, concurrent resolution providing
Which one is this?
correction in the enrollment of H.J. Res. 100.
Fuck, I hate that everyone refers
Senator
to shit.
from Vermont is recognized.
Goddamn right he's recognized.
American people are increasingly disgusted at the level of corporate greed.
Let's just do it. Fuck it, it's Bernie. Let's just have fun.
We have more income and wealth inequality in America now than we've had in 100 years.
Facts.
Billionaires getting richer, working people falling further and further behind.
A lot.
And there's no clearer example
21.
of corporate greed than what we see in the rail industry today. In the last year, that industry earned $21 billion in profit, record-breaking, provided $25 billion in stock buybacks and dividends to their wealthy shareholders. And yet today in that industry, workers who do difficult and dangerous work have zero paid sick days. Zero. You get sick, you got a mark against you, a couple of marks, you get fired. This cannot and must not happen in America in 2022.
So a big issue also with this is the original. So basically, they wrote a resolution to force the deal that we spoke about earlier, 24. I think it was a 24% raise, all that stuff without sick days guaranteed, right? And in the House, what they did was they separated the two bills. They took the 7 days of paid sick leave, detached it, had it be its own little extra thing, and only passed the resolution that had basically all the agreements, but without the 7 sick days. 7 sick days were the biggest ask and the one that the unions wanted the most. And the House voted on that. It ended up passing. Now, the big controversy right now is that I believe, let me see if I can find the numbers really quick. I think it was rail strike votes. No. I want House. Give me the House. Give me the House. Give me the House. Give me the House. That's not how you spell house. That's not how you spell house. Okay. There we go. Give me the House. Give me the House. Here we go. I don't know if I want this one. Nope, I don't want you. Give me somebody else. Who's a... I know what I want. Nope. Sure, this will be good. We'll do MS, or we'll do ABC, I guess. Let's see. The House voted 290 to 137 to adopt the tentative deal between... You better not make noise. Okay, you're just playing. That's fine. Rail companies and employees reached in September and brokered by the White House in the second separate 2021 through 207 vote, aimed at addressing progressive Democrats' concerned over protecting workers. The House added 7 days of paid sick leave to the agreement, which currently calls for only 1. These 3 Republicans vote in favor of just 3 Republicans voted in favor for the additional paid sick leave. So whenever they say that they're in favor of workers' rights, do not believe them. Let's take a look. Let's see. Speaker Pelosi. Yeah, so basically the House separated the bills and passed both of them. Now, here's the issue. Because they separated the 7 sick days from the original deal, basically, when it goes to the Senate, and this is almost a guarantee. I don't know if it's happened yet. Let's see. Rail strike. Did the Senate vote on it yet? Let's find out. Uh-huh. Oh my God, ABC. Oh my God, you're the worst. Is there like C-SPAN? Can I watch Senate votes? Let's make sure. No, same one. No. Just give me somebody who doesn't. Sure. I just don't want ads. I don't want to pay. I'm sorry. Senate on Thursday voted to avert. Yep. Let's see. The first vote, cooling off period, failed, yada, yada, yada. Third vote. Okay, stop. Keep going. Biden's urging House Wednesday pass a law enforcing September tentative. Yeah. I still believe that the president Biden. The vote 290. Let's see. White House 221. Here it is. The House voted 290 to adopt the deal. White House 221 to 207 for the sick leave. Urging colleagues, workers. Senate Majority Chuck Schumer announced the commencement of the votes after the luncheon. I'm very glad that the two sides got together. Yeah. Biden said. Let's see. ABC analysis report had been negotiated between the Presidential Emergency Board. They have personal leave days that they can schedule, which is what prompted their ask for guaranteed 6 days. 15 of them that they wanted to use, that they could use at any point. So yeah, they gave them like personal days, but that's not the same thing as paid sick leave. Like personal days is I want a day off, but that's not the same thing as sick days, because sick days you can't plan for. You have to, like, you plan for somebody calling out sick by hiring more people, which they clearly don't want to do. The House passed but Senate failed bill would have given workers 7 days. Yep, there it is. That's what I thought. Yes. So the Senate ended up passing the tentative agreement, which does not have the sick days. Meanwhile, the sick day amendment, half of it, ended up not passing. So these workers are going to go back and unfortunately be stuck without their sick days and just kind of are going to have to settle for a bunch of the asks that they weren't really as interested in, and probably the thing that at the end of the day didn't really, like, it wasn't what they were asking for. A 24% raise and all this other frilly bullshit was not what they were looking for. They wanted sick days. They wanted the ability to not lose their job when they are sick. And unfortunately, that did not end up passing. And the big controversy that came out of this, specifically the House vote, we kind of knew that if the two bills were separated, that the House portion would end up, the sick leave part would end up passing in the Senate just like it did in the House, but the paid sick leave would end up dying on the vine of the Senate. And the big controversy is that I think it was Rashida Tlaib. Yeah, Rashida Tlaib, the only squad member and one of the very few progressive Congress members, unfortunately voted to separate these and then voted the one without the sick leave through, which not great at all. So I kind of want to look to see, because I saw so far, I haven't seen anybody else answer this, and let me just say this, I really don't like to focus on AOC. It just kind of ends up being that way because, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's just she's the most vocal one of the squad and of the progressives in the House, and I do think that there's a disturbing amount of focus on her, but tweet less, I guess, be less publicly forward, I suppose, but that's kind of where she gets her political force from. But yeah, let's see. I want to see. Let's see. So Ryan Grimm, the what is he? Chief Bureau Officer of The Intercept. I could be getting that wrong. I'm sorry, Ryan, if I am. But I guess he kind of chimed in about this, so I kind of want to read what the hell he's been. Let's see. Yeah, seems to be a lot of confusion here about the vote yesterday. Unions wanted progressive caucus in the squad. The vote the way they did, so they could fight in the Senate. You can't disagree with the strategy. Yeah. So there also seems to be like a problem with like the union leadership kind of going a little bit against their rank and file members, which not great. They gave up a lot of leverage, and now they're going to end up with a deal that most of their actual workers aren't thrilled about. Not great. Certainly not great. But I saw, let's see, the strategy lets them fight in the Senate where they'll most likely use, but the reason that almost certainly losing is better than certainly losing, which is what they were headed for in the House, because Pelosi had votes she needed to impose the bad agreement. Yeah. If your theory is that the squad should ignore what the union wants, that's fine, but make the argument for why it's the right thing to do. Yeah. Yes, and not just the national leadership either. We follow the strategy ask of our local unions, including rank and file. We've picketed alongside before, like 202, as well as nationals that rejected the ratification. In New York 14, locals ask was yes, so we could send paid sick leave to the Senate. Yeah. So the strategy overall looks to be, if I'm being super charitable, it seems like the strategy from the unions and from progressives in the House was, what if we make Republicans, or really make everybody in the Senate, take a unfavorable vote against 7 days of paid sick leave, to which I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that. I think we all kind of knew Republicans weren't going to vote for this, so it wasn't going to pass the 60 vote threshold. There was almost no chance it would end up passing. And most Democrats didn't seem like voted for the 7 days either. Or at the very least, even if they all did, you have your holdouts like Manchin, Sinema, and some of the rest of them that probably are like, I don't really give a shit. So, super shit strategy. Not good. I don't know what to say about the House progressives' like strategy here. I kind of get it. I get what they're, when we'll have them take like a really unpopular vote, but if it's not gonna pass, it's not gonna pass. None of those senators, none of those people are going to face a lot of pushback. Let's take a look. Actually, you know what I want to watch? I know what I want to watch. We're gonna watch this.
The Senate has,
because I want somebody who's more knowledgeable about this. I've mostly been following this, but kind of tangentially. I'm not the what's it called? I am not the journalist I wish I was to know all of the intricacies for this, but I want to kind of see if TYT has any other perspective on this. I kind of want to hear a little bit more.
Officially voted on adopting a measure that forces a deal between the national freight railroad companies and their unions.
Lovely.
There was a separate bill too. The bill that would give the workers what they wanted. They don't want just measly 4 days of sick leave. But the legislation, the separate legislation, was a little more generous, 7 days of sick leave. One of them passed, one of them didn't.
Which also, let's also recognize that there's been a lot of coverage about this, about how much damage this could do to the economy, how much this would cost everything, with the holiday season, all of this stuff, right? And there's been a rather noticeable push by a lot of the larger media apparatuses to kind of push against the union and go, well, this could cost the U.S. economy this much money, all of this stuff, because the unions, they want a lot of the usual anti-union stuff. But the problem is that and here's where the larger media's bias really shows, is that they're talking about all of this damage that could come from the possible strike that these railway workers would engage in. And not once are they mentioning, hey, these companies, they could fix this entire problem by offering 7 days sick leave. We could not have this problem. But the onus always seems to come back to the railway workers. So really, there's been an effort to kind of paint the railway workers as the key people who are holding this up. But at the end of the day, they're making an argument for what they want, and collectively demanding that. It's the railway companies that are actively holding everything up because they don't want to budge. They could budge at any moment and give these people the sick days that they deserve, and we could all be done with this. But instead, unfortunately, all of our media came to the rescue, along with a lot of the corporate wings of both parties, quite frankly, to bail them out of this. So there's that.
Can you guess which? Now, the proposal to give workers 7 days of sick leave failed. Wow, what a shocker. To pick up enough Republican support to overcome a 60-vote threshold set for adopting the measure, and fell 52 to 43. Now, my prediction yesterday in regard to people like Josh Hawley, a Republican, turned out to be wrong. But Josh Hawley very likely knew that this legislation wasn't going to pass.
Yeah, isn't he from like Minnesota or something?
6 Republicans voted for the sick leave measures.
Where's
Senators
Hawley?
Mike Braun,
Where's
Ted
Hawley?
Cruz, Lindsey Graham, Josh Hawley,
M.O.
John
Which one's
Kennedy,
M.O.?
and Marco
Missouri?
Rubio.
Or is that Montana?
Get a load of this,
Fuck,
though. Senator
I think it's
Joe
Montana.
Manchin is the worst person in Congress. He's the only Democrat to vote against it.
Wait, Joe Manchin voted fucking against? Wow, Joe Manchin has some fucking balls, man.
Manchin's a Democrat than a Republican.
Apparently not.
He's apparently more right-wing than the Republicans. So
Jesus Christ.
Congratulations, Democratic.
How do you take a worse vote than like Marco Rubio?
Worked out brilliantly.
Okay, so let's pause because I want to discuss. I actually want to discuss the House first because that's where I believe the problem began. And part of the problem and what enrages me beyond words at this point is that the Congressional Progressive Caucus went along with this maneuver when I also believe that corporate Democrats knew full well that the bill to give the workers the sick leave that they desperately need and want was going to fail in the Senate, okay? They could have voted on one piece of legislation, right? Think about it.
So, and this happens a lot. This happens a lot. When it comes to legislation, is you'll see a lot of this separating aspects and kind of stripping stuff out, making individual votes on those things to kind of pretty much weaken legislation and pull out aspects that, like, it's kind of how, like, they passed Build Back Better, but like by the time it made it through the House and the Senate, it had been filtered. All the good things that have been proposed in Build Back Better were then filtered out by, taking out the amendments and doing all the rest of that stuff. This happens all the fucking time. And for whatever reason, progressives in the House just, it just keeps somehow making the same mistake where their priorities get taken out of bills and then they're asked, hey, but you still support the bill. And whatever reason, they just kind of stick with it. I don't know why. This was a case where the argument was made, I guess, that, don't, let it be separated, let people vote against railway workers, and, maybe you'll get the 10 votes you need from people who are in states that rely on that kind of industry. But no, that's not what happened. They ended up separating them, and now workers aren't getting their sick leave. So
that one piece of legislation that both prevents the workers from striking, I guess, right? Because that's what the goal here is. They don't want the economy to shut down. They don't want to lose $2 billion a day as a result of a strike. But the bill should have included the sick leave.
And this is the thing. And this is the thing. It could have been in anything. Like, they could have.
Why do you think that happened?
You don't need to pass just one.
Here's why it happened. Theoretically, conservative Democrats put pressure on leadership, but that's nonsense. They don't have to put pressure on leadership because Democratic leadership is already very, very conservative on economic issues. So Hakeem Jeffries didn't need any convincing. The number one priority is make sure there's no strike and that the workers know their goddamn role. Number two priority is set up a fake vote where we know we're gonna lose, but we get to do marketing saying, oh, we're with the workers, okay? So that's the House version of it. And then on the Senate side, we'll have the Republicans block it through a filibuster
But we'll have some prominent Republicans who are pretending to go populist actually vote in favor of the workers.
Exactly.
So that those handful of Republicans can get all the credit for being populist, for fighting for the workers, while the Democrats take the blame. But either way, the donors that gave them the money to both the Republicans and the Democrats are incredibly happy. They get a little pat on the head. Hey, nice job, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Joe Biden, okay? And hey, look, who's the populist here is Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz.
No.
Well, you look at that. I mean, you literally couldn't bungle it any worse than this.
Josh Hawley voted against providing paid sick leave to federal employees. He was a no vote on that piece of legislation. He is not an economic populist. He does not care about ensuring that workers get paid sick leave. And by the way, I mean, if there were a prevalence of economic populists in the Republican Party, we would have no difficulty passing mandatory family leave, something that we still don't have in this country. We do have in a huge portion of the country forced pregnancy and forced birth with absolutely no social safety net to catch.
No. One second, hold on. Hold the phone. No, we can keep that there. Hold up, no fucking way. I'll let this play.
Women and families.
Oh no. What the fuck is happening? Oh, it's on this one. I'm stupid.
The Senate has officially voted.
Joe Biden, okay?
We still don't have in this country. We do have in a huge portion of the country forced pregnancy and forced birth with absolutely no social safety net to catch women and families as they struggle financially and are forced to bring a child into the world. But all of this, you're right, Cenk. The strategy by the, Republicans in the Senate who voted in favor of providing the paid time off, genius.
Yeah, of course, they know it's not going to pass. By the way, guys, just so you know, the Republicans talk to their colleagues. They know for a fact it's not going to pass.
Exactly.
It's not like they all go to the vote with like, golly gee, I don't know what's going to happen, right? So, and they have a certain amount of Republicans that say that raise their hand.
Oh, it got deleted.
I would like to pretend to be a populist.
Okay.
And they go, okay, sure, you can pretend because we're going to win this vote, right? And then they, by the way, the Democrats do the same thing. They tell Hakeem Jeffries, yeah, you guys can all pretend to be.
So, now that I found it. So, that's a Kanye tweet. Yeah. Yep. That's. Yep. That's a. Yep. It's really weird. I keep looking at it in different angles, like something's gonna change. Okay, we can go back. I saw that and yep. That's yep. Jesus.
Be populist. And on the Senate, we're all pretending, other than Manchin, to be in favor of the American worker. We all know we're gonna lose. So don't worry about it. And mainstream media, there are dogs, right? So they will unquestioningly report the Democrats, oh man, they tried so hard. But golly gee, for the billionth time in a row, there was nothing they could do.
I mean, we should, eventually, maybe you guys do it tomorrow, there should be a comparative analysis on independent media headlines on this vote versus how the corporate media headlines are written. Because from what I've already seen today, it's avert a strike, right? It's a good thing, it's positive. The legislation will prevent the strike from happening, avert the strike. It's not about how unbelievably cruel it is to force workers to essentially, to show up to work sick? Right?
Nowhere to be found, Huffle Shoes, nowhere to be found.
I mean, it is
absurd.
And we're talking
My man's
about
PR guy is like in a closet somewhere.
Cut its workforce to the tune of 20% since 2018. Why do you think they did that? They did that to maximize their profits, spend as little as possible on labor, maximize profits so they can do the corporate stock buybacks, so they can do the dividends for their shareholders. That's all that matters to them. That's how the system works. And if anyone believes that members of Congress,
Let me let her finish.
especially Republican senators who are buying individual stocks themselves, who certainly do not want to see their stock portfolios suffer from a strike, but also they don't want their stock portfolios to suffer from corporations not maximizing their profits, right? So they always enable the corporate greed over and over and over again. This is how it's done. Most people can't see through this garbage. I gotta be honest, I'm real sick. This has happened multiple times at this point. I'm real sick of AOC in particular. Like one day on Twitter, she'll say, "I'm looking out for labor. This is it's unreasonable. We can't vote to prevent them from striking. They deserve the sick days off." Next day, she agrees to vote yes on the legislation that basically intervenes preventing them from striking.
Not wrong.
But then the next day,
they had a compromise.
Exactly. There's always an excuse. It's always like high-minded, three-dimensional chess, except
It's four,
you got
actually.
played. Do you not see that?
So wait, but look, this is just factual. So
Jesus.
And so, look, she is an ostensible ally of ours. We're just being honest with you guys. If you really thought it was a compromise and the workers had a chance of winning, well, then you got played. That's a fact, right? Because they did
Took
not
the L.
win. For the billionth time in a row, Democratic leadership lied to you. The only other option is you knew that it was a fake compromise and you voted for it anyway because you didn't want trouble in Washington. Trouble's a real pain in the ass, right? Oh, then everybody yells at you and everybody calls you the bad guy and they get their goons in corporate media to harangue you. Don't get me wrong, I get it. There's real pain associated with having courage in Washington.
The courage in life.
Right, and so, but every progressive huffs and puffs, et cetera, in Washington, and then goes along with the latest compromise with Democratic leadership, which always leads, 100% of the time, leads to the same result, which is, oh, golly gee, we lost. So no one could have guessed that the trust Biden strategy wouldn't work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I gotta say, not wrong. Someone show me the lie, because this is not the first time this has happened. This is like the third or fourth, maybe. And yeah, I don't even want to just say the squad. The progressive project, I think, in the House, while good, and I think something that is been needed from the left is, quite frankly, something that hasn't really paid off the way that I think it should or could be at this point. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. House progressives have been, at best, mildly effective, and at worst, completely ineffective. There's really, there really is no way around that one. As much as I'm not a fan of, I think, the over obsession with the squad and its ostensible membership, this is, what else can you say? At the end of the day, they've done it again where they've separated the good parts of bills from the mild to not that interesting or not good parts, and pushed forward those parts. So it's just it just is what it is. But anyway, whoa! I didn't click. Actually, I kind of did accidentally click that. If you're wondering, it was like a Days Gone video that YouTube keeps trying to make me be into. I don't get, this isn't political or anything. This now we're outside of politics for a moment. But I gotta say, I have tried to play goddamn Days Gone game like 4 times and just never get through the intro. It's just not. It's just it just doesn't play the way I feel like it should, and it just like never grabs you. It doesn't ever really like grab you by the lapels and like shake you with like interest. It just kind of hangs out. It's kind of there. I don't know. All right, let's see. Do I have anything else on the docket? I think that's everything that I had planned for the day. Yeah, that's everything. Cool. That's everything that I had planned for the day. If anybody has anything, or actually let me flip through some of the news stuff that I see here. But yeah, if anybody has anything that they would like to hear about or talk about, by all means chime in. Ugh, goodness. The hardest part, honest to God, you know what the hardest part about this job is? 100%. The hardest part about doing this is really just figuring out stuff to watch after a point. And also not just, always watching the same stuff everybody else is, even though that's kind of what most of it is. But not that I'm complaining. I'm sitting in a mostly comfortable chair in front of a computer, having a good time. But any other streamers you watch, any other YouTubers you watch, maybe show them some love, do, comment they're doing a great job or something or whatever, because this is always kind of hard to find stuff to opine about and stuff. What's it called? To be consistently interested in. But let's see. Any Harry Lake? Do we want to? I have not watched the Daily Wire boys not once this week. I have stayed away from the Daily Wire boys and the rest of that entire little media circus. Should I? I don't know. Should we do Daily Wire? Do we really need to? What the hell is this? Oh no. Okay, I want to point this out. Okay. I found something. So apparently, the name of this video is Avatar Director Gives Up All His Remaining Masculinity.
Well, if you saw the first Avatar films, then
not
you probably
good.
Don't need any additional incentive to not watch the upcoming sequels from director James Cameron, who hasn't made a decent film.
Holy shit, me and Matt Walsh agree on something. James Cameron, kind of uninteresting after a point.
I guess it's been probably 20 years. Of course, the original...
What movie could he be talking about that's 20 years old? James Cameron directed Terminator 2 in the 90s. Aliens was in the 80s. Avatar was the only, he hasn't made anything in between. Has he? When did maybe he's talking about Titanic. He might be talking about Titanic.
The original Avatar back in 2009 was a massive multi-billion-dollar hit, but that was due mostly
before
to
that. It was just Titanic.
Mass societal psychosis that caused millions of people to believe temporarily that it was a good film. It was a very bewildering time for people like myself who never fell under this hypnotic
This is
trance.
so weird. This is the weirdest
Everyone
experience. I'm agreeing with Matt Walsh for once.
That Avatar was, despite the special effects, one of the least interesting and least inventive films ever released.
Oh my God. Holy shit. We found the one thing Matt Walsh is right about. Probably for the wrong reasons. But we found the one thing he's right about. Holy shit. This feels different. This feels new. This feels epic. I can't believe I agree with Matt Walsh on something. At the very least, so far, unequivocally, fully agree. You and me, Matt, we're right here, man. Fuck Avatar. That movie is fucking stupid. Wasn't even that interesting. I just don't think Avatar's a good movie. It's fine. It's got good visuals. That's it. It's literally it. I'd rather, honest to God, if you released Avatar as a fucking like concept art book, probably way better. The fucking movie, fuck that. That shit was just so. No, just no.
Released. It was essentially just Disney's Pocahontas, but with blue people and less singing.
My
it
God.
Was a film
yeah.
So lacking in wit and creativity.
Oh my God.
The natural resource that everyone is fighting over.
Oh my God.
Film, it centers around this natural resource.
Isn't it called like the Force or some shit?
It's called unobtainium because,
holy shit, that's worse.
It's difficult to obtain.
Oh my God. Matt Walsh is making like fucking every good point. Holy shit. What is happening?
We got in this film. It was the kind of film where the bad guy is an evil army officer with a scar on his face who's motivated to do bad things because he's the evil bad guy.
Yeah.
And that's what evil guys do.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue in my critique of the movie.
It's fucking stupid.
So utterly forgettable that
can Matt Walsh just make a channel of him just critiquing Avatar? Can I vote for that universe? Matt, I'll subscribe. I'll fucking give you a $5 dono. Just bitch about Avatar, man. Like, I will be okay with that. Fuck this trans shit, man. Like, get on the Avatar hate train. Love it.
Much else I can really say about it.
Damn it.
I will say
that
it was one of the only times in my life that I almost walked out of a movie in the theater. The only reason I didn't is that I actually fell asleep, and and this is true.
Hey, that's what happened to me in Batman vs Superman.
I missed like 45 minutes because I took a nice nap. Thank God.
Thank God.
All of this to say, the sequel set to be released in a couple of weeks is guaranteed to be
looks just
terrible.
as boring.
Now, almost all sequels are terrible, even sequels to good films. But
what? Okay. Usually the argument is that sequels are better than are like the good, like Back to the Future 2, Empire Strikes Back, The Godfather Part 2, like Aliens better. But Aliens is allegedly better. Fucking Terminator 2. Fucking what are other good sequels? Not Pacific Rim, not that Pacific Rim sequel. That was shit. Good sequels. What's a good sequel? Someone give me a good sequel. What are good fucking what am I saying? The Dark Knight Rises. Fucking amazing sequel. Fucking what else? Batman vs Superman. No, super bad. Fuck, what else is like really good? Sequels, I think sequels get a bit of a bad rap. All right, there are some really good sequels. There are a lot of there are a lot of really shit sequels. But sometimes fucking The Last Jedi is fucking great. Last Jedi way fucking better than the third one and definitely better than the first one. The Force Awakens one. And in that trilogy, Last Jedi easily best one out of the three. Easily. What else? No, Quantum of Solace sucked. If you really count that. I mean, it's the reboot, so I'm assuming you count it. The one after GoldenEye kind of sucks. That's true for the Bond movies. Okay, sequels to Bond movies have not been good. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2? Secret of the Ooze? It's fucking amazing. Way better. Way better than the first one. First one's just fine. But the second one has Toka and Razor. It's great. The donuts, the ice, the build, everything. Second one's way better. Turtles in Time, third one's just okay. But what else? What are other good sequels? What got sequels? I mean, shit. Do you think video games have better sequels than movies? I feel like video games might have better sequels than movies. Like, in terms of, like, a track record. Because, like, Dead Space 2, people say is better than the first one, I think. I didn't play those, but, like, Kingdom Hearts 2, better than the first one. I think that's pretty universal. People seem to agree on that one. Resident Evil 2, better than the first one. Resident Evil 2. Both the remake and original. Silent Hill 2, what am I saying? Silent Hill 2. Amazing sequel. What else? Sequels. What's another sequel? Does Mario have 2s in it anywhere? I don't know what the second Mario is. I'm assuming maybe that's not a good example. Fuck, what are like 2? What's another good one? Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. Sequels aren't that bad. They're not that bad. Calm down. They're not that bad. Sometimes a sequel is good because you don't have to worry about the world building or like any of the rest of that bullshit. You can just get right into the movie.
Sequels to bad films are doomed from the start because they're building from a foundation of crap. And yet,
not wrong.
From the director's recent public statement,
sometimes you can fix bad, shitty first movies with a good sequel that fixes the problem. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes you get Ghost Rider 2. Is that better than the first one? I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes you get like you get that, and sometimes you get like Silent Hill Revelations, which is trash. So that's true.
Statements. This sequel may well be awful in ways that exceed.
It's definitely going to be bad. It's definitely going to be like utterly uninteresting.
From the New York Post, it says, James Cameron has revealed that his long-awaited Avatar sequel is rooted in his personal issues. Quote, I thought I'm going to work out a lot of my stuff artistically that I've gone through as a parent of 5 kids. Cameron, 68, told The Hollywood Reporter.
Jesus.
The overarching idea is that the family is the fortress. It's our greatest weakness and our greatest strength. I thought, I can write the hell out of this. I know what it is to be the a-hole dad. Don't be distracted by parties and presents this holiday season. Instead, join Hallow's most anticipated.
No, we're not going to do that.
Quote, means appealing to you. That got his personal issues. I'm made if somehow a big this holiday season. If somehow
what the fuck was that transition? You guys have a budget. What kind of disgraceful transition was that? God.
A big budget sequel to the most overrated film of all time, made as a means for the 68-year-old director to work out his personal issues, seems appealing.
Matt, that's like
to you.
every movie.
Then
that is literally every movie is somebody working through their personal issues.
Reflecting back on his career, which includes highly publicized clashes with studio executives, Cameron said, a lot of things I did earlier I wouldn't do career-wise, and just risks that you take as a wild, testosterone-poisoned young man. I always think of testosterone as a toxin that you have to slowly work out of your system. Well, good news, James.
I mean, I do definitely don't you like lose testosterone as you get older because like you don't need it as much? I don't know if that's true, but that just sounds like kind of how it works out as you get older. You just kind of stop being less testosterone driven, I guess. You're just less, you're less dense with that shit.
It seems that you've mostly succeeded in that regard. Nobody will accuse you of having excess testosterone, but for the record, testosterone is not a poison, nor is it a toxin.
Oh my God, wait, is that what this is about? I thought this was something more to this. Is it literally just he used a word? Oh, come on, dude. Ugh, Matt, we were friends. We were buds. We were pals. Thought we were cool, man. What the fuck? Okay, look. Matt is now going to complain for whatever god-awful reason that James Cameron described having too much testosterone as being poisonous, even though I don't really think, first of all, even if he meant it literally, that's stupid. But even talking figuratively, it's not poison. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? A like hormone. It's just a hormone that that usually ends up affecting the chemicals in your brain in a certain way. That it's why men can be more competitive, a little bit more aggressive. It's just a hormone. That's really all it does. Is it just kind of makes your brain chemistry more muscly and shit, and more kind of manny or whatever. But that's literally all it is. And James Cameron has generally always made movies, which I find interesting. Because he's always made movies with women as the the leads. Like if you go and look at old James Cameron movies, the leads of his movies are we're gonna go back because I only know as far back as Aliens, but Sigourney Weaver as Ripley in Aliens, very masculine, very strong female character. We love those. Terminator 2. I don't remember her name, but Sarah Connor, also very strong woman, very independent, very masculine, very, you know, strong pro-tag, strong woman. We love that. Titanic, I don't really think as much, although I know Kate Winslet. I think it's correct me if I'm wrong, if it's Kate Winslet. If I remember correctly, she's like the main pro-tag, and Leo is just the little the love interest boy toy thing. I don't know. I've never seen Titanic. It was on like 2 VHSs, which was an immediate no for me back in the day. So never seen it. No interest. I'm fine. The only thing I really love about that movie is the part where the band is all like, "It's been an honor playing with you boys," while the fucking ship sinks. That's what I would do if I was in that situation. If I could play an instrument, I'd just be like, you know what? I'm going to go down doing the thing I love, playing my fucking trombone, play the fucking Evangelion theme on trombone, and just go down with the ship. That's how I want to go. But James Cameron is kind of always, what's the word? Not, I had a word and it wasn't the word I want. Injected. Has always injected a certain amount of masculine energy into his lead female roles. So I understand that he's like, okay, let me try to write a female in a way that's not like actively like writing them more masculine. Like, can I write a feminine character, like female character? I can understand that. He's like, look, I made everybody. You go and watch Aliens. You have what is her name? It's the Spanish chick in Aliens, but she's like fucking jacked. She's fucking jacked. And she's like, carrying around the biggest fucking gun in the group and everything. So like his characters have always been these like really masculine written characters and these really masculine styled characters. So it's just getting away from that. Calm down, Matt. Jesus Christ. It's like if you've never seen a James Cameron movie.
Nor is it something that you want to work out of your system. It is, in fact, a hormone vital to growth and vital to development, which maintains
vital to male development, maybe, or development for anybody who wants to be a man.
Of course, the irony here is that if you asked him, about the subject, James Cameron, as a Hollywood leftist, would almost certainly
as a Hollywood leftist,
I love that. He's a fan of gender affirmation drugs and procedures, which means that
I knew it.
Testosterone is only a poison when it's naturally produced. Testosterone in the form of a drug given to gender-confused girls.
So I really love. Okay, now I guess we have to talk about it. Okay, so besides the fact that Matt Walsh is conflating a figure of speech and a literal description, because poison is not what testosterone is by definition, because poison like negatively affects the body in a way that could kill you. So literally, like testosterone can't be that because it doesn't do that. Hormone, it influences the way your body functions and the way it develops. So besides the fact he's conflating those two things and literally throwing a hissy fit about it, obviously he's going to take the angle around gender affirmation and everything else, which I find really funny. And I had a feeling he'd end up taking this angle. Because if you're Matt Walsh, you believe that being a man is all about biology, right? That there is a biological what's the word? There's a biological bar you must pass to be a man. Yet, he understands the more colloquial and more society and, what's the word I'm looking for? The more cultural construct of giving someone's masculinity away, right? Because Matt Walsh names this video and is going to talk about how James Cameron has already mentioned and made a few snide little jokes, which I did catch, But he's already made kind of the little joke of like, her, you don't have any masculinity left. Her, you're not a real man. Her, right? But if you're Matt Walsh, how could he possibly do that? I ask, how does a man give up or relinquish their legitimate and actual masculinity? How? Because to Matt Walsh, being a man is about having a penis. Being a man is about having, I don't know. That's actually kind of really the only, probably to Matt Walsh, you would say having short hair, having larger muscles, which, by the way, are not traits that are inherent to men. There are women who have much larger muscles and much more muscles than I do. There are men who have much shorter hair than I do. My hair goes down pretty fucking far. So, obviously, it can't be a biology thing. And this is where Matt ends up kind of revealing that he's full of shit. Because he's going to complain about the biological realities of being a man and then constantly reinforce the understanding that being a man has nothing to do, zero, as Bernie Sanders would say, zero to do with being a man. Doesn't. Biological realities are just one more measurement, as equal as long hair, as equal as physicality, as equal as height, as equal as everything else. Being a man has nothing to do to Matt Walsh about you having a dick. Being a man to Matt Walsh has everything to do with you acting like what he perceives a man is, which is short-haired, a beard, gruff, deep-voiced, all of these things. If you ask Matt Walsh to describe a man, he would probably not even get around to having a penis, unless you pushed him about biology. Because that's not what being a man is. We all know we all say it every single day. Real men do this. Real men do that. We all do it every single day. It's a construct, my dude. Get that through your thick skull. Also, you're being really triggered right now about about this whole Cameron nonsense. You're being very, very triggered, Matt Walsh.
Girls is wonderful, and it's medically necessary and affirmative. But if it's naturally produced by men, testosterone in the form of a drug given to gender-confused girls is wonderful.
Well, if they identify more with the male gender, then it would make sense, wouldn't it? You would, if somebody identifies more with the male gender, wouldn't it be good to supply them the hormones to act according to that gender? If you're a woman, what's funny also is I'm sure Matt Walsh would decry masculine women, because Matt Walsh doesn't like masculine women. I would bet any amount of money Matt Walsh would be incredibly intimidated by like a really chiselly, like bodybuilder type woman. He'd probably find that to be not very womanlike, which, fun fact, doesn't fucking matter. This is the entire point, dude. Like, none of this stuff is fucking biological. All of it is just whatever you have up here. And I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's the science has gotten away from you on this one, and society.
And it's medically necessary and affirmative, but if it's naturally produced by men, then it's bad.
Absolutely.
And yet Cameron is really only guilty of being overly honest here, if anything, because this is how our society generally treats men and boys.
Absolutely.
Young men are poisoned by the toxin of testosterone, we're told. That's the essence
Are you stammering,
of
Matt?
Masculinity, after all.
I don't stammer.
And it's
I just do the Obama thing.
In particular, can be wild, can be aggressive.
They can
be prone to risk-taking and confrontation.
What is risk-taking and confrontation? What is risk-taking? I really do love how these guys always try to tie their biology back to like a capitalist value at the end of the day. Because what? Because if you said, is it good to be risk taking? Most people say it really depends. But for this guy who's definitely a capitalist, he would say risk taking is good. The people who take risks are the inventors, the creators, the people at the top of our class, the capitalists. They have tied this dude ties his entire value as a man, or not, maybe not his entire, but he ties a core part of being a man, of risk taking, because women don't take risks apparently, to explain why there is a biological reason for men being CEOs and women not being CEOs. That's what he's trying to launder with that talking point. Understand, that's the angle he's going for on that one.
A big role in that. But our approach as a culture should be to help these boys and young men harness their masculine energy.
Sure.
Not suppress it or purge themselves of it or drug it out of them. But
nobody is drugging young. So besides the fact that, like, I don't know what he's describing, it's whatever it is, it's made up in his head. But like, nobody is prescribing, like, oh, we'll just give all the boys like a be a boy less pill, like when they enter into school. Just not a thing. Just not a thing. The actual thing most people do is suggest that more boys talk about their feelings and express more of how they're feeling about things and not lash out due to their, emotions and stuff. But then, like a lot of guys who become insecure, I think, Matt Walsh would probably be somebody that wouldn't be in favor of any of that. He doesn't want his son, his kids, or anybody talking about their vulnerable feelings if they feel angry or upset by something with teachers, with counselors, with those types of people. Besides the fact that he'd probably call those people groomers, he also probably wouldn't find it to be very manly. Matt Walsh strikes me as the type who thinks that it's not okay or not within the parameters of being a man to cry in public, which is cringe.
Help them to develop the character and discipline to funnel all of that testosterone-fueled aggression and energy in a constructive and worthwhile direction. This is one of the many things our society gets wrong when it comes to men. Boys, as they grow up, they're not given proper outlets. And most of the outlets that they once had are being taken.
I never noticed what this dude's sticker says, but apparently his sticker says, woman is someone who identifies as a woman. I'm really glad that Matt Walsh knows that that's how we identify people. That's really cool. Good for you, Matt Walsh. I'm glad every single time you do the show, you're secretly sending the leftist code right down here. Your audience doesn't realize it, but every day you're communicating to people, hey, the actual definition of woman is a person who identifies as a woman. I really appreciate that.
Taken away. Even things like the, more aggressive and sort of violent games kids used to play on playgrounds.
Also, be clear, Matt Walsh's argument, which I think he said a few times, and I'll repeat his whole talking point so we have an understanding for anybody who hasn't watched me watch this idiot before. But his general argument is that woman is a adult human female, which is rather circular, because then woman just equals female, female equals woman, but they're two different things. It's Matt Walsh has to rely on the conflation and the misunderstanding that gender and sex are the exact same thing. The minute like that's all this ends up breaking down to. Even though every day he uses woman as a non-biological term, every single day.
They don't play those games anymore. Take all that away. They're not trained on how to harness this energy. They're not trained on how to be men.
How do we be men?
Competent male role models. We are fearful of masculinity, and so we demand.
Who are all these incompetent? I mean, I've seen.
Sometimes we literally try to turn them into girls.
It's really funny. I always hear this like competent male role models meme or whatever. There are a number of males who are bereft of a good male figure in their lives, but most of those people are like come from the black community. So I'm curious who the fuck he's talking to, because I'll tell you right now, Matt Walsh doesn't give a fuck about black fathers being incarcerated at a higher rate than white fathers do. I'll tell you that for a goddamn fact. So I'm curious who he's talking about. Is he talking about like leftist dads, I guess? I'm not sure who he's talking about when he says that. You know, like what this positive male like figures, the absence of these figures are. I have no idea. The overall populace, I mean, obviously divorces, I don't even know what the rate of divorce is these days, but you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that the father isn't in their lives. So, but I'd just be curious to see what exactly he's talking about.
And then as they get older and stronger and become unruly and violent, we conclude that masculinity itself must be the problem, rather than a lack of guidance,
I thought it was like individual
lack of moral formation. And then the goal becomes, as James Cameron puts it, to purge masculinity.
Older and violent. Matt, do you mean like your audience? Do you mean like the guys who watch this show and don't do a Twitch channel where they make fun of you and tell you how stupid you are? Do you mean those guys? Because those guys definitely grow up to be violent and definitely grow up to be hateful and definitely also are miserable. How many incels do you think are leftists? I'll wait. Lord knows. Actually, I want to look into that really quick, but we'll continue the video. But I am now curious.
To work it out, to eradicate it. And now he's made a movie about it.
Well, I don't think that's what the movie is about.
Watch if you don't value your brain or your time or your money. But I will decline the invitation for my part and instead say to James Cameron that you, sir, are today canceled. And that'll do it for this portion of the show. As we move over to the members block, I'll see you there. If not, talk to you tomorrow.
I mean, besides the movie's not going to be all that great because let's be honest, Avatar was not that great. Man, you know, we had some agreements there. We did, for once, have some agreements there with Matt Walsh. You know, we'll take what we can get. You know, I'm not somebody I'm not looking to disagree with everybody all the time, as much fun as it is. But let's see. But yeah, I can't help but just be like, Avatar's probably gonna suck. But yeah, the Matt Walsh, man, always whining about something. Let's see. I just don't feel like, is there like an r/, like, I know, okay, let's try this. No. Okay, let's find out. There, we'll do the search together. This will be the last thing, I think. Okay. Are there incels that are left-handed? Nope, stop. See, the hardest thing right now, well, not the hardest thing, it's really not that big. But all my stuff is like, I kind of have to like maneuver a lot of stuff to, let's see. No, not really. Not really. Yeah, no, not really. Not really at all. Okay, well, I was just kind of curious. I kind of had a feeling that wasn't going to be a thing. But yeah. It's just like the incel problem is something that the right seems to propagate a lot by kind of steering these already lonely, already unhappy males into adopting a, what's the word? maybe, into a like identity that makes them more fucking miserable. Like if like for any normal incel, they've already got like a lot of solipsism. They're already upset about their position, their inability to find somebody to like relate to on a romantic level. And you have this movement that is, you know, it is right wing. I mean, I can't find any leftist incel like groups or anything. I haven't, you know, obviously not. We only just looked up. I just did a quick Google search. But like, at the end of the day, like the right is driving these young men, these kids, to be miserable. Like, and you know, they turn them around and end up pointing them in the direction of other people, and then wondering why they're either violent, they're upset, or, you know, literally any of the other you know, unfortunate what's it called, opinions, not even opinions, it's like worldviews that comes from that stuff. Yeah, the incel stuff's cringe. And like guys like Matt Walsh, unfortunately, do nothing but kind of set people up to be funneled into that community, sadly, which is rather unfortunate. But okay, I think that is everything for tonight. So got a lot done tonight, huh? All right, actually, let's check one more time. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. What was this? What the hell? Oh, that's weird. Senate passes. Yep, bill strike. Okay, yeah, I think that was. Anyway, okay. So, we're here now at the end of a week. Sorry. Here now at the end of a week. That was the last segment for the week, I think. I don't know why my mouse just like disconnects sometimes. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It might just be I didn't buy the best mouse, but that's okay. Either way, yeah. That's gonna be the end of the week. I cannot believe. Also, I realize I never even said that it's December 1st, 2022. We are already done with 2022, which is crazy to me. But yeah. Yeah, that's been the show. You've been a great audience. I've been mostly recovered from my sore-ish throat and not great kind of cold feelings earlier in the week. Yeah, next week. I really need to get better about this stuff. If you're just now tuning in, if you've kind of gone in and out to check out the channel, just want to let you know that this broadcast goes up 7:30 Mountain Time every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for about 3-ish hours. Sometimes it depends. Just kind of depends on what the news days are looking like. If you enjoyed what you watch, I really, really would appreciate any kind of follow on here or a subscription over on YouTube. That should be linked on this channel. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me kind of get out of doing my normal full-time job. But until then, this show will be a 3-day-a-week thing. And yeah, I like doing this. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. That's all I got. Again, if you're watching this on a replay and you'd ever like to chit chat, there is the email address that should be above my head. It is cool. That's above my head. You can always email at any time. If you want to talk, just let me know what topic you kind of want to talk about, and any of the 3 days that I stream, which day would work best for you, and we can get you on Discord and kind of just have a conversation. I've had 2 conversations with viewers in the past. I think it was like last Thursday maybe. Fun times. I like talking with people. I like hearing other people's ideas and kind of where they are. But other than that, yeah, we're about a quarter of the way to the 100 follower goal here on Twitch. Happy about that. I don't think I have any other housekeeping. Yeah. Either way, you all have yourselves a lovely night, and I'm gonna go and try to do the same. So, goodbye until Monday.